Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to your daddy. Happy birthday to you.
Aloha, Patrick.
Happy birthday, Uncle Pat. Happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday, Dad. I love you. Happy birthday, Dad.
Patrick, my brother. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Happy 40th birthday, Patrick. Hope you are enjoying your day and celebrating. You certainly are deserving of all the happiness that this day brings.
Patrick, happy birthday, Patrick. We love you so much.
Hey, Patrick, happy 40th birthday, brother.
Hey Patrick, happy birthday. I hear you're turning the big 40 this year.
Happy 40th birthday, Patrick. I love you so much, sweetheart.
What's up? Happy birthday, Patrick. Happy 40th.
Patrick, the Big Pat Daddy. McQuiggan. Man, happy birthday. All right, let's get into this.
When did you first meet Patrick?
I first met Patrick when I was 11 years old. He actually took me to my first Raiders game. It's the first time I met Patrick. I went to a preseason game against the Cowboys. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life, and honestly, I'll never forget sharing that moment with Patrick.
Patrick was an old soul baby. Watching him grow up, kind of Benjamin Button style, from serious toddler to silly goofball man, has been really joyful. One thing that makes Patrick uniquely special is his no holds bar, sometimes no thought given, super gorilla style brand of humor with its exhausting, relentless teasing, over the line pranks and super inappropriate jokes. And there's nothing better than watching Patrick laugh at his own wisecracks. Oh, and he's unapologetically Irish. There is literally no one, at least that I know, that is more Irish than Patrick, except for maybe Dan Murphy. Underneath all that silly is a man who has the biggest heart and above all else values his family and friends. His belief system is super strong and he celebrates the sacred differences of others. It's a testament, I think, to how he feels safe in his own skin. I love that.
Patrick, I came into your life in 1991, and you told me I was like the guy version of Usha. And you know what? There is no better compliment, and I will take that all day long.
When did you first meet Patrick? In third grade. It's 30 years ago. It's been a long time.
Well, I first met Patrick. It was halfway through our 7th grade year at Upland Christian. He had transferred over from Vineyard. I think the year was 1995. And he came to our school, and he had shown up, and he just made his presence known right away. And he introduced himself, said, "I'm Patrick," and we were friends from that point on.
I think we both agree we met sophomore year of high school. When I first saw you, I'm like, nothing really stood out other than, hey, this motherfucker's friendly. Like, he talked to anybody, you laughing, you were having a good time. And you were always positive, so that I guess was the first thing I know about you.
The only 7th grader probably I've ever seen that had sideburns, a full beard, a mustache, armpit hair, leg hair. He just had hair everywhere, but on top he was going bald. So you don't see many 7th graders that are balding at that age. So that was the thing that stood out to me the most. And I noticed his personality. He was gregarious. He was loud, he was brash, he was not afraid to just interact with anyone. And when he got to our school, he made his presence known for sure.
I wanted him tested for performance-enhancing drugs. He may have already had a beard in third grade. He was 5 feet tall. He was cooler than anyone I'd ever met. And he threw a baseball faster than I'd ever seen pitched.
Patrick, I can't count the times that I was the chaperone for movies, cosmic bowling, toilet paper runs, and I was you call me the Cub Papa in Cub Scouts, and had a lot of adventures. But dude, you were my little brother, and I realized that feeling was mutual when we did Camelot at the Grove. and this guy named Gregory Francis was talking crap about me. You went up to him and said, F you. That's my brother you're talking about.
Well, I was a sophomore in college. Patrick was a freshman in college. He was coming in. He walked into the fraternity house, and I was like, wow, there must be alumni coming tonight. It was pledge weekend or start pledge period, and I'm like, damn, alumni are here. And then I realized later, I'm like, thinking about Patrick, I'm like, wow, actually, that guy just looks really old. So when Patrick was a freshman in college, I thought he was like 24 or 25. So he just looks older. Maybe the receding hairline, I don't know.
When did I first meet Patrick? Going out to dinner with a bunch of business contacts. And he was there and wearing his green suit. Yeah, the green one. I noticed that he likes to be right, and or at least he makes you think he's right, so his personality, Patrick's personality was shining through when I first met him. That's what I first noticed.
I could be sincere. I could talk about how the time that you basically became my big brother and you showed me the way when I moved to California as a stupid 18-year-old teenager. Or, and you were that big brother for me. You were always there for me, but I'm not going to talk about that. That's too sincere.
With me, man, growing up, you were always the older brother that I never really had, You did the perfect combination of picking on me, but in a loving way, and but blended the perfect combination with making me feel like you always have my back. But anyone can attest to that. Even Boo can. You're a great older brother.
I appreciate you've been such a good friend. It's practically family at this point. There's a point where friends stop becoming friends and it just becomes family, and you stopped becoming a friend, a long time ago, and have been family ever since.
What are some things he could work on? Fantasy football, losing. I guess those things go hand in hand with Patrick, though.
Some things that Patrick can work on is probably like when he calls somebody and they don't answer, maybe it's because they're busy and their lives don't revolve around Patrick. Am I right? I'm sure everyone else has gone through that.
Some of the things he could work on are, improving at fantasy football, because he's absolutely terrible at it. He's probably a good 40 to 50 pounds overweight, so that's a given.
Patrick is very focused. He is very driven. And he knows how to put the right people together to get a job done. So some weaknesses I think all of us can relate to. He's not always super patient in certain situations. And also sometimes he says whatever is on his mind. And, if you're not someone with, tough skin, that might hit you the wrong way sometimes. So anyway, we love him because he is very happy with who he is.
Your weakness and strength is kind of like one and the same. Because, buddy, you can't read a room to save your fucking life. You're the guy that walks into a room and completely just speaks his damn mind, not giving a shit if you're offending somebody. But the beauty about that, and why I think it's also a strength, is you never have ill intentions behind anything that you do or say. And the fact that you speak your mind and just are 100% authentically you, I think that is such a massive quality trait that is missing in people today.
Here are some of the things I think that you could work on. I'll leave that question to Vanessa. She's probably better equipped to answer it than me.
What are some things he can work on? Boundaries. I think Patrick always knows he needs to work on his boundaries, but that's part of what makes Patrick Patrick.
What can Patrick improve on? When you think something's funny, Patrick, and you beat that joke like a dead horse over and over and over again, it's not funny to everybody. I mean, you think it is. You think it's a hoot.
How would you describe your relationship with Patrick?
I would describe my relationship with Patrick like a brother. I can't. Sorry, hold on. I can give me. Ask me the question again. Actually, you know what? That's it. Ask me the question again. I'm gonna be serious with it. Go ahead.
How would you describe your relationship with Patrick?
Patrick's like a brother to me.
My relationship with Patrick, it is amazing. He's a very nice guy, very determined, dedicated, motivated. I love Patrick.
How would I describe my relationship with Patrick? Oh. No, I would say, he's my godfather. What else can I say?
We have moments where we don't communicate and talk, and we have moments where we catch up, but it's just like where we left off. We just pick up where we left off.
Man, it's been a wild ride. One I wouldn't change for anything. From Bye Bye Birdie, to cosmic bowling, to houseboat trips, to bananas, to Washington, D.C., to high school, to partying in college, to running with bulls and traveling across Europe, to saving my butt in Vegas, to card games, to fantasy football drafts and gatherings, to random calls. Truly one of the best people in my life.
You're to the point, you're aggressive, and you're honest. And probably the most important thing that I think a lot of people miss is you have a phenomenal, loving character about who you are. You care about me, you care about my family, you care about what I'm doing in life, and you care about how I feel.
He lets you know how he feels. He, is very vocal and very, very direct, and he's always genuine. And while it doesn't seem like, he may not care, but he always cares. And that's what I love about Patrick.
What do I love about Patrick? What don't I love about Patrick? I love everything about Patrick. He listens, he asks questions, and he cares. 3 simple things. But most people don't do that.
What are some things you love about Patrick? He has a heart of gold, and he can make anyone, anywhere, smile.
So some of the things I love about Patrick are just that he is different. He's very gregarious. He's very outgoing. He can talk to anyone.
One of my favorite memories with Dad is my first baseball tournament win, because after the final play of the game, he just threw me up in the air, and you could tell he was so excited. And my other memory with Dad, my favorite, is definitely when we went to the Notre Dame game.
And I would have to say my favorite memory was 14 years ago, our first date, and Patrick was late, which it was okay because he comes in, he had already done his leprechaun beard for St. Patrick's Day, and our first date was like the end of February. So I loved how committed he was to preparing weeks in advance for St. Patrick's Day. And the second thing, he had this very long list of questions for me. And some of them were kind of unusual questions, but Patrick was unlike any person I had ever met. And I just loved him from the first time that I met him.
The most memorable experience that I've had with Patrick, you know what? I think the world should know about this. Vanessa, you included. One time, Patrick says, "Hey, John, let's go to Tijuana." All right? And basically, as you can imagine, as soon as we cross the border, Patrick starts, and as soon as we saw, that establishment, it was like, it 0 to 60, if you will. You know what I mean? Because and all the hair, because the hair is the most important part, and just. I've just never seen a barn animal that big, and for Patrick to kind of satisfy the situation, I don't know, crazy times in Tijuana. So now you guys all know that story. I'm sure, Patrick, you have a lot of explaining to do.
We have a lot of memorable experiences that we share together, but I could talk about in middle school us breaking into Tim's liquor cabinet.
What is the most memorable experience I had with Patrick. Well, the best one was when one time we were in Houston, and we finished up with dinner, and we decided to go out.
What are you talking about? What did you two do?
No, never mind.
You never told me about that.
So a memorable experience with Patrick, which I can say on video, was, let's see, I just graduated college. I was living in Orange County. Patrick was a senior at Santa Clara, so he was down in San Bernardino area, whatever, and he's like, hey Mike, well come on over, or hey Senator, come on over. And I'm like, yeah, I got nothing going on. So Patrick's like, oh, I know the bar to go to. We'll be totally set. Bunch of hot chicks, blah, blah, blah. So we go, total dive bar, what a dump. No cover, we got in. And then the girls were probably, maybe high school graduates, GED. Nothing to brag about. But hey, we were there. So we're there. And the funny thing was, midnight comes around, and like most guys, we're looking around, we're trying to find girls to kiss, we're trying to find girls to dance with. Midnight comes around, we both look around, no one's there. Patrick holds out his arms to me, and he gives me a hug.
We went on a houseboat trip our freshman year, and we were out at Lake Powell, and we were on a Sea-Doo, and Patrick told me, hey, let's go riding on this Sea-Doo together. And I said, oh, okay, sure. So we went down a canal. We were on the Sea-Doo. We were exploring these tight passes down there with all the rivers that went through the lake and the rocks. And then sure enough, our Sea-Doo died. It began to take on water, and we were gonna drown. We were far from the boat. We were stranded there with a Sea-Doo that was sinking. So we didn't know what to do. And in that moment, we just said, oh, forget it, let's just try to swim back, but we might die. This might be our last day on Earth. And Patrick swore me to never tell anybody this, but in that moment, he had confessed that he was, in fact, in love with me, and that he was gay, and that he had feelings for me. And I said, Patrick, you're my friend. I don't have those same feelings. I'm sorry. And I broke his heart that day, but he still remained my friend throughout all the years. So that would probably be Patrick's most embarrassing story.
Was after I moved to California, we went to the Orange County Fair. I bought that Steeler picture of Heinz Field, or not Heinz Field, the Super Bowl, when we beat Super Bowl 40. We're hanging it on the wall, and you're helping me hang it on the wall, and Mom comes in, and again, me being an 18 or 19-year-old at the time, I'm like, what is happening? I'm still getting used to you being you, that big brother. We're hanging it on the wall, and Mom comes in and goes, is that nail gonna hold it? And without missing a beat, you literally look at her and goes, how rough a sex do you think he's gonna be having in here? And I was like, what just happened? But my favorite moment, and before I say it, I want everybody to look at Tim. One of my favorite nights that I've ever had, where I don't know if I've laughed any harder, and I think everybody knows where I'm going to go with this. All I'm going to mention is lollipops.
One of the things I remember is when you were a young man starting out in college, you were serious about finding the right person. So your first, quote, date, end of quote, was not a date, it was an interview process. And you would ask a couple hundred questions, many of which were legitimate. My favorite of all time was, are you a cutter? And at that time, I didn't even know what a cutter was. I learned it from you.
One of my favorite memories was you splitting your pants at the very beginning of us planting trees in the rainforest, and you had to wear those like split pants down the back of your pants the whole time we were there. And then when you went walking down the dark path at night to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, which they told you not to do, but with the flashlight and those huge monstrous like moths that were attacking you and your flashlight, and you go running off down the pitch black path like screaming like a little girl, and tripping over a 25-foot long python. Freaking awesome.
Embarrassing moments with Patrick? Well, they're only embarrassing if you insist. He doesn't have time to wade in potential awkwardness. He goes out there and has fun.
I went dancing one night with my girlfriend, and I know Patrick remembers this because it was hilarious. And all of a sudden, my girlfriend goes, "Hey, there's a really cute guy checking you out. Just be cool. He's coming over this way." And I turn around, it's Patrick, and he goes, "Miss Avita!" And I went, "Oh my God, Patrick!" And we hugged each other, and my friend Karen was like, "Miss Avita, what's going on here?" She was completely thrown. We laughed so hard. And I looked at Karen and I said, "Karen, no, 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 no. This is my kid."
What is Patrick's most embarrassing moment? How long is this video supposed to be? I don't think it's appropriate for me to share some of these stories, but come see me. I'm glad to share with you one-on-one.
Do I have any embarrassing moments? I can't really talk about it. So, next question.
We're on the houseboat, and let's just say I will never fall asleep in wet swim trunks ever. I don't know why that stuck with me, dude, but my balls have never been chafed because of sleeping in wet shorts, and that is all thanks to you, buddy. I've always kept it a rule, even as an adult. If I'm gonna go to sleep after getting out of a pool or an ocean or whatever, I'm gonna make sure I'm dried off first.
Not to get into too many details, but I would say when our children were very young, we thought, oh, this is great. They're finally asleep and we can finally have some quiet adult time. And for whatever reason, if you think you have a good lock for your bedroom door, my advice is you better get a better one, because you never know what sweet little toddler's gonna have a bad dream or something and barge in, and it may not be the best time. So I'll leave that story right there.
Okay, what a lot of people don't know about Patrick is he likes to rap. And he actually had a rap name. It was P=MC². And he would leave me voicemails. And thankfully for me, I never threw anything away. So I got these things going back to like 2009. But here's a track he did from 2014. Take a listen.
Yo, yo, I need my father, Bobby, because he's like my hobby. And when I don't have none of his love, I feel like I'm dying dove. And you know that when I'm here, I gotta drink some beer, because I have a little fear that without my Bobby, I might be turning a little queer. And just, we gotta play some foosball, because that football doesn't want to have none of them. I don't know what drives that again. Call me.
We were picking up your very girly BMW, but it was beautiful. And their presentation of it on the showroom floor, and everybody gets to watch, and we walked down there and they showed us the car, and you drove it off the showroom floor and out the door into the first stop sign and looked at me and said, "Now show me what my car can do." You remember the Autobahn. I definitely showed you what your car could do.
Some of the most memorable experiences that we've had, you know, there's frankly so many to count that come to mind. I mean, just in high school, driving up to your house all the time, having card games, getting drunk and passing out on your couch, and driving home the next morning. I remember when the school caught on fire in the bathroom, you, me, and Mike were marching out to the field together, arm in arm, singing "The Roof is on Fire, Let the Motherfucker Burn." That was funny. One time we had a card game, I'll never forget this. We had a card game at my house, and you and Razzo and Jared King and a bunch of guys were there, and we were laughing, having a good time. And I lost my ass so bad. You guys took all my money and then went about 2 blocks down to the strip club and spent all my money on strippers. So that was lightening of my wallet a bit, but it was funnier than hell and a memory I'll always have.
My favorite memory about Dad is when he comes with me to soccer practices and games.
What makes Dad special is he's just very social. He came to my teen center in because I'm in 7th grade, and he starts dancing with you, Mom, and he starts just going wild. He pairs me up with a girl to dance, and he's just so enthusiastic. That's what I love about him.
He is very affectionate. He is very passionate about whatever he's doing. And the best part about him is that he puts his faith and myself and our children and his family first.
The morning of the proposal, that morning we were at Mass. Hello, cows. We were at Mass and we're going to communion.
What is happening?
He's right behind me and it's like he's whispering to me and I'm like trying to talk out of the side of my face and say, she's gonna find out. No, she has no idea. You gotta be quiet, calm down, be cool. And it was all such a beautiful day and Vanessa knew nothing and it was a great surprise and we love him. We're so happy that he's a part of our lives.
My favorite memory is probably the time we drove your grandparents' stuff back to Pittsburgh. I mean, it was a 5-day cross-country trip, and we stopped at every roadside attraction along the way. We even stopped at the Mormon temple, and you were asking them questions like, hey, if I join the church, how many wives do I get to have? And you chuckled to yourself like you usually do, but besides that, we went to Deadwood, Mount Rushmore. We went to Wall Drug. We went to the Corn Palace. Not many people can say that. But we ran the bases at Field of Dreams. We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And we even went to visit the Christmas Story House, which you thought was stupid, but now all of a sudden you find it relevant. But that wasn't my favorite memory of this trip. My favorite memory of this trip was all the time we had in the car. Just you and me talking about life. And we were talking about one day us being dads. And a year later, we were. You had little Patrick, and I had Sadie. And love that.
What is the most memorable experience you've had with Patrick? This is a hard one. There are so many. It has to be our adventure in Europe and all the stories that we have from that trip.
And if there's 3 words that can describe you, it's honest, loving, and Irish.
Fantasy, football, failure. Easy.
Loving, charismatic, and devoted.
Loyal, family, loving.
He's a leprechaun, he's brave, and he's happy. Smart, funny, and kind.
Social, enthusiastic, and very loving.
Loyal, generous, and creative.
So a couple words about Patrick that I think of. He's motivated, he's driven, and he's charismatic.
Family, loyalty, and love.
I would say he's brave. That goes to be said that he's not afraid to try new things or move to new states or just uproot his family and just go to new endeavors. I would say Patrick is kind in that he's always there for me. He's always there for his family. He's loving towards his own family and just loyal. That would be the third thing I'd say. Patrick's very loyal.
Loving, honest, and beer buyer.
He's passionate. He's caring. And he's dedicated. He's dedicated to his family. He's dedicated to his religion. He's, he puts everything into what he does. And so he's just absolutely Patrick.
I took the two of you up to the Mauna Kea Observatory to see the stars and the planets at night. And we were down in Waiakoloa, and it was 84 degrees and hot. But we were forewarned, we're going to be at 11,000 feet. It's going to be extremely cold. Wear warm clothes. So you and your Uncle Bob decided to not listen to that. I know, hard to believe. And so you were in shorts and t-shirt, and when they offered you a weather-resistant parka, you wouldn't take it. So then we drive up to 11,000 feet. It's about freezing. There is ice on the ground, and it is misting out. Not snowing yet, but misting. And you proceeded to jump out of the car, indicate I didn't know what I was talking about, that it wasn't cold, and you rolled around in the permafrost. That's my boy.
Just want to share with you what I think is so special about you. You know, you have such a way with people, you're so insightful, you're so aware of the human condition, and you're so honest. And all of those traits were really so apparent when we first met. You know, you did the typical brotherly thing of, you know, trying to protect your sister, and then at some point that really transitioned into you really desperately trying to make me part of the family. And in that, you were sharing with me what you thought was, you know, the best traits about your sister. And, you know, you could have chosen many things. She's so kind, she's caring, she's such a hard worker, so intelligent. But despite all those traits, you sat me down and you told me the best thing about your sister was that she'll never get fat. And that's turned out to be true. So again, the insight and the brutal honesty is really what makes you so special.
Hey patty cakes, I'm gonna try to make this quick, but sometimes you just gotta slow down and enjoy the moment, especially for the big ones like this. You've definitely conquered a lot and done it all while paving the way and protecting people like me through the thick of it. I couldn't ask for a better brother. From graduations, high school, college, law school, to swearing in ceremonies, we've been through a lot and a lot of stressful times, and yet you always made the best of it. Fun, happy, exciting. It was awesome being your little sister. Still being your little sister. I love it. From country concerts to St. Patrick's Day celebrations, you always did it big and you always did it the best. Same thing with my senior night gymnastics at Cal. Last time I had a home competition, and for my introduction, it just so happened to fall on St. Patty's Day. And man, did you not disappoint in your leprechaun outfit and the big black gold, pot of gold, wheeling me out to be introduced to the crowd. It was perfect.
And I'd have to say very honestly that my very favorite memory is when I first found out you were in my tummy, because you made me a mommy. And for the next 9 months, I loved every second of it. I could have you all to myself. I didn't have to share you with anybody. And it was just great. Wait a minute. Scratch that. After the 9 months and 38 hours of labor, I have to say my favorite memory was really just getting you out of me. It was like, just get him out. Get him out. So getting you out of me was truly my favorite memory. Well, that's not to take away from the fact that your teenage years, I thought considerably long and hard about just ways I could just shove you back in. But then we got rid of those. We got through those. And then you met Vanessa, you got married, and then you told me I was going to be a nana. So scratch everything I've just said up until this point. Making me a nana is my best memory, my very, very best memory. And if anybody were to ask me, you know, what's your favorite thing to be doing in life, I'd have to say it's sharing my life with Patrick, Vanessa, and my grand blessings, because I get to walk that journey with them. That's it. All my tomorrows and the great memories to happen. Love you, Patrick. Happy 40th. Oh, wait a minute. I think I feel another labor pain coming on, so goodbye.
We were going through Mono County in Ireland in the evening, and I hit a pitch black ice. We skidded sideways for, 25, 30 yards, hit a rock, T-boned it. Whole side of the car, Patrick was on, caved in, and he was knocked completely over to my side. So the car would run, and as I would drive it a little bit, I said, Patrick, I think something's dragging on the ground, because I could see sparks. And I said, get out and see. And he said, it's the whole car. So it took us an hour and a half, but we eventually got to Ashford's Castle and had a great adventure.
And I would say I'm the most proud of Patrick watching him be a dad to our children. He, especially when our kids struggle maybe in a sport or something with school, they're having a little bit of a hard time, he really is there for him and he listens to them. He has been an amazing soundboard to me when I need someone to talk to. He is always there for us, for everything. Every baseball game, every soccer tournament, every school play, he's there for us, and we absolutely love him for it.
A production of Bye Bye Birdie. And this was the only production ever done where the lead sang in 7 different octaves, because Patrick was going through the change of voice, and when he would sing, he would go all the way from high to low. But for a 7th grader, that was the second best performance I ever saw until I saw his son, who is a better actor than him, recently perform. Both of them are great, and little Patrick is going to have a great career.
Dad is special because on St. Patrick's Day, he dresses up as a leprechaun. I like going to the football game with my dad. He's special because he's always kind.
What do you enjoy doing with Patrick?
Drinking beer.
Great answer. Number 2, what makes Patrick special?
He buys the beer.
Hey Patrick, happy birthday buddy. 40. Woo! Getting up there, huh? How does that feel? Just wanted to take a minute to wish you all wonderful things, bud. Peace, love, joy, health, happiness, and everything else that you deserve. From the first day that I met Oosh, there were certain names that I heard as being the cornerstone people in her life, people that her family, and people that she loves, and your name was at the top of the list. And I can see why. You have this rare, incredible ability to befriend and make people feel special. It's a wonderful, wonderful quality, and I hope that never ever changes in you. I love you. Mama Gabes loves you. Aunt Choots loves you. All my New York family loves you. We wish you everything wonderful. So happy birthday, buddy, and many, many more.
Happy birthday, Uncle Pat! Shakalaka, shakalaka!
Happy 40th birthday, Patrick. Harv and I thought we'd pop in and join everyone that's with you here today and wish you a very happy birthday, and to think about all the things that were and all the things that are yet to be. You're an amazing man, a wonderful friend, and the best leprechaun we know. So have a great day, a great celebration. We love you. Aloha.
Patrick, I love you, big brother. Wishing you the very best now and always as you celebrate the big 4-0. Happy birthday.
And I wish you a happy birthday. Just remember, you're not getting older, you're just getting better. And continue to be the great father and the successful person that you are. And, and keep watch over mom. Happy birthday.
We love you. Bye.
Patrick, happy birthday. I wish you all the best, and you're 40 now, so your age has finally caught up to your looks from 7th grade. Congratulations.
I love you, Patrick. Happy birthday.
So in any event, Patrick, I hope you're having a good birthday. I miss not seeing you around, miss having you, don't like having you halfway across the country, buddy, but I'm glad I still get to talk to you often. Thanks for always being there, and hope you have a good birthday, and I hope I see you more often. Thanks, buddy. Love you.
You've always been there. You're there for anybody, even strangers. Like I said, you always have the best intentions for people, man. And you only want to see people win. And when you need to be an asshole because you know it's for the greater good of things, you'll do it. And you're the asshole that everybody needs. That's why I love you, buddy. Happy 40th.
Happy birthday, Patrick. You've done great. Love, Dad.
Have a happy 40th birthday, and I appreciate you and love you to the end of days. Thanks, bud.
Happy 40th birthday, Patrick. We all love you. So glad that you're there before I am, and can't wait to watch this with you, buddy. Love you.
We love you, Patrick. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We love you.
Love you, Dad.
I love you, Dad. You get the best hugs.
Hey, I know you are proud of your Irish heritage, so here's some Irish wisdom for your birthday. May you be poor in misfortune, but rich in blessings. Slow to make enemies, but quick to make friends. But rich or poor, quick or slow, may you know nothing but happiness from this day forward. Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday, Patrick. Happy 40th, and love to the family.
Many more.
Bye.
In all sincerity, I wouldn't have asked for these moments with anybody else. I wish we could spend your 40th birthday with you in Hawaii. We're probably in Pittsburgh, but there isn't anybody I would rather have as a nephew, or as an uncle, to my two kids, as a big brother to me. I wouldn't ask it with anybody else. I wish you the best 40th birthday. We wish we could be there. Love you.
Patrick, you inspire me every day. You're bold and brave, and you are the definition of what a husband should be, what a father should be. The way you're there for your kids, the passion and support you have for them, I love that. And you're one of the best Catholics I know. Thank you for always leading by example. I love you, man. I miss you. I look forward to hanging out. Happy 40th.
Patchy baby 40 is unbelievably surreal. I am so proud of you. Growing up with you and Brittany, some of the happiest days of my life. And I love you, honey. Happy birthday.
I'm so thankful for your wife and your kids. And our 45-minute BART rides have now turned into visits across oceans and FaceTimes in between, but trying to never miss moments and experiences because I love you so much and we get to talk all the time, which is awesome. And nobody does anything like you. All of this experience, no one does business with more conviction than you. No one continues to set the example on how to be a Catholic, the right Catholic. And no one focuses on family more than you. I consistently look to you and continue for you to pave the way for me. Together to the end, brother. I love you so much. Happy 40th birthday.
Lordy, Lordy, Patrick's 40. I cannot believe that kid that was on my Yellow Brick Road stage with sister and mom in The Wizard of Oz is going to be 40 years old. That little brat that was in Assassins. And our preparation for Bye Bye Birdie, hilarious. Pat, you are a gentleman. You're a scholar. You absolutely are a hardworking young man. What I appreciate the most is the father that you are, because you are truly a genuine, caring, loving dad. I, in finishing, only have 4 words to say to you. It was a man. Love you, Pat.
I laughed at all his words. I thought he was a bitter man. He spoke of women's ways. They'll trap you, then they use you, and before you even know, for love is blind and you're far too kind. Don't ever let it show. I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger. The can's such a pretty show. It steals your heart away. The backstage back on earth again. The dressing rooms are great. They come on strong and it ain't too long for to make you feel a man. But love is blind and you soon will find you're just a boy again. I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When you want her lips, you get her cheek, makes you wonder where you are. If you want some more, then she's fast asleep, leaves you twinkling with the stars. For your grandson, there's nothing I can see. You'll have to learn just like me, and that's the hardest way. I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger. Ooh la la, ooh la la, yeah yeah. Ooh la la, ooh la la, yeah yeah yeah. Ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la, yeah yeah yeah. Ooh la la.
Yo, 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 I miss my brother. He reminds me of the love I have for my mother. I used to have all kinds of Barbies. We used to go out and have hobbies. And now I'm just out here all alone. I might as well just play with my own bones. I can't even get my wife to moan because I'm so depressed. She doesn't even let me touch her chest.
It's so bad.
I don't know anything else to say. So call your brother because it's just a rainy day. I love you. Bye.